Take a little nappy poop. Yeah, man. Hey, man, sometimes you need a nap. Yeah, you know who I want to meet? I want to meet the head chef over there at Wingstop. Yeah? Yeah, man. I'm convinced it ain't no way you recreating that. That ain't fast food, man. That's somebody in the crib, man, cooking, man. The way that corn tastes, you not recreating that like fast food. This ain't a chain. This ain't your regular chain restaurant. Even Popeyes, you can tell, is a bit chainy.
So you're a fan, I presume,
of Wingstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm convinced the Wingstop up here. I haven't had Wingstop before. That's the first Wingstop, man. So I don't think you're getting this type of Wingstop everywhere.
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
It's amazing. I want to talk to the head chef.
I don't want to take it that far, but you know.
Do you think you can get me? Do you have some pull up here where you could introduce me to the head chef at the Wingstop?
No, if I did, I wouldn't neither.
That's so disrespectful. Why wouldn't you? I don't understand why you wouldn't make that a reality for me to be able to meet the head chef at Wingstop. I want to know the type. First of all, I want to look him in their eyes. And I want to know the type of love that's going inside of this corn.
You're doing too much looking in his eyes.
I want to look in their eyes. Or her eyes.
You're doing too much, so no. I can't help you.
You know, it's funny you actually you go back and forth between the two pronouns, him and her, just now. Mm-hmm. On the Kiss and Tea podcast, episode 21 Savage. 21.
I forgot.
Yeah, I knew you did. I knew you couldn't count that high. I knew you couldn't.
Listen, it's been a while.
I'm sorry. Okay, give it to me again.
21.
Nah, you didn't seem too convinced.
Nah, 21, 22, 23. I'm
good now. You gotta get okay.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Right.
I mean, like.
Yeah, no. Okay. Kiss and Tea episode 21.
We rocking and rolling, fam.
We're old enough to drink now.
I guess, yeah.
According to certain, 21. That's some good stuff. You bring up him and her. You say him and her.
Okay.
Just remember, man, you want to introduce me to the head chef, but at Wingstop. But
I'm not doing it, for the record.
I feel a bit alienated when it comes to the pronouns him and her. I feel alienated. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
You know I run a recruitment business.
That's correct.
I spend a lot of my time on LinkedIn.
Sure.
There's a trend on LinkedIn. There's also a trend even amongst corporate entities, nonprofit entities, thus forth, where it's no longer okay to just have Kiss, last name.
Right.
Underneath, you got your title, got your email, phone.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
It's not okay anymore. It is not okay anymore, and I know you know where I'm going with this. You bring up his, her, pronouns, him, her. I feel alienated because I feel as if I'm almost doing the most by putting what in my mind seems pretty obvious.
Okay.
I've never had to prove I'm a him or a he for the past 40 years.
Okay.
For the most part, society, as my interaction with society has gotten that one right.
Okay.
I feel as if I don't need to further prove my him, he-esque nature about me.
Okay.
By then putting it in parentheses behind my name in my signature, and then again reflected on my LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
I have no issues with people who want to ensure people identify them the way in which they want to be identified correctly. I have no issue with that whatsoever.
All right.
The issue, and it could be self-imposed, and this is where the question is coming in.
I'm following.
How I feel somewhat alienated because I choose to opt out of the exercise of, in my mind, stating the obvious. Do you see where I'm at with this? And dare I venture into to say this thing is somewhat teetering politically correctness. Politically correctness. A lot of it goes on. A lot of it we deal with. A lot of it we almost just is kind of go along to get along. Politically correct. You just want to be correct. You hear me try to do it oftentimes, even on this podcast.
Sure. Fam, you know how I feel.
It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. Something to digest.
It's definitely a lot to unpack, but that's on the surface, right?
Do you have him and he?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna shut up. Okay.
I don't have an. I don't have an opinion on that on the actual signature, on your profile, whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, you know how I feel about it. I just think we've gotten to the point where we're appeasing every group, and a group consists of more than one people.
Yeah.
Right, and it could be less than 3 people.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Less than 3 people. If they make enough noise.
Right. We're appeasing them. You know what I mean? We're bending to, whatever light they see, or reinforcing, or whatever case may be, right? So I think that's too much going around, right? Now I do think, like you just can't be saying stuff, right?
True.
Obvious stuff that's just, blatantly false, blatantly offensive. You can't be trafficking, propaganda, hate speech, all that, whatever case may be. Nah, and I think that's
good point.
I think that's the obvious.
Right. Good point.
Whatever case may be, right? But I just think, like, it's like as you was talking, right? My bias is like, oh my God, I can't believe he even called it an exercise. You know what I mean? When you said, I didn't participate in this exercise.
Did
he
right.
That exercise. You'll have some folks be like, are you crazy? That's not an exercise. Right? So you'll have to, you see how granular it'll get?
Without question.
Where like, but I'm going to take it a step back.
Uh-huh.
Or not even a step back, a different angle, right? It's just like, if that's my position and that's your position, or if that's someone's position, right? And it doesn't, it doesn't fall in a category it's offensive to I don't want to say legitimate, but obviously it's obvious in terms of, its degree of, like it being offensive to a group of people, disrespectful and all that, whatever, right? Like, I think, folks can, really determine one from another, right? What's really offensive and all that. Now, if my position is not offensive, right, and I'm all over the place, why do I even got to explain myself?
That's where I wanted to, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
again, and this is where I want to check myself.
But this is why, I had this long-winded, intro to what I was going to say. Like, I get it. I'm not saying, that why do I have to explain myself? That question, right, or that even pushback applies to everything folks say. I want to be clear, right? Because some folks,
right, this is not just about he, his. You're saying
everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean, folks? I just want to make sure, like, I'm not saying. I want to be clear to the point where I'm not saying like, because some things folks say you got to explain yourself. You got to backtrack. You gotta apologize. You gotta do all that, and which I agree with, whatever. But there's some things that if it's just that individual's position on something, like you said, the him he stuff, that's just your position. Why do you even gotta explain yourself? Why do you even gotta explain yourself? And to why?
Is that you're asking me the question?
Yeah.
I almost feel we're in an entitled environment where people feel they're owed an explanation.
I agree 100%.
They feel like they're owed an explanation.
I can't.
And that's the area I fall in with the he, his. I haven't had to explain that for the past 40 years.
Right.
What am I explaining here? What am I clearing up here? Like, I ain't had to.
So, I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Right? And that's just my position. But I guarantee you, some folks on either side, will think that's a disrespectful position and be like, okay, well, you need to educate this, that, and third. Like, I can say it's not that interesting to me for me to spend any time to research You know what I mean? That portion of it, right? And they can take that statement and just said, well, that applies to the whole movement or a whole group of people or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if that was the case, I'm not going to hold you. Like, I don't think I have to go. I'm not going to explain myself. I just think, I mean, like you just said, I think there's a group of folks, I think it's a society. They're just entitled to an explanation, and everything is just like offensive. Like I can't please everybody.
Well, not even that. It's at what point do I don't want to say, at what point do I put myself in the, like, if you spend all your time trying to appease any and everybody,
right. Where do you fall in?
Where do you fall in?
Yeah, right.
And that's if my whole, it's hey, I kind of see everybody doing this, he, her, his, them, they. Do you?
Right.
That's fine.
Cool.
But in my mind now, I feel as if because I'm not playing along, I'm not changing my pronoun. I'm not doing this.
You're not part of the club.
That now, okay, he's taking almost an oppositional stance.
Right.
And that ain't the case. It's not a binary thing with me. Hey, man, do y'all thing. But I ain't got nothing to do with none of this.
It's just like you just said, I'm not even checking for that.
I'm not even checking for it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not doing all this.
I'm not checking for it.
Yeah, I'm not checking for it. I'm not doing all this. And then I go along to get along, and then I change it without any real substance behind, oh, I'm just doing it because everybody else doing it. Then at what point am I true to myself?
You're not.
And it's just like, hey, I haven't had to prove to anybody.
I mean, it's different, right?
Man, we're in such a different day.
I'm learning it because I like to be, I like to know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm trying to take a deep dive in this whole YouTube, social media, and all that, whatever, right? So
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's a jungle out there, man. It's just like you can't. Sorry to cut you off. You can't say nothing without backtracking, without folks saying, you offended them, this, that. They're like, I laugh to myself because I'm pretty sure in a year they're gonna go back in the archives and say, listen,
something dumb we said.
It's the craziest thing, and I think to myself like, because how would you react? And it would be the same way. I'm not even like why do I even gotta explain myself to you? And that's my position,
right?
And that's that.
I mean, cats. I guess cats just think because you get in front of this camera and all this other stuff, you just not human anymore.
No.
Can't make mistakes. Can't say certain things.
Right.
I mean, they dragging Joe Rogan through the daggone mud right now.
Listen. No, this is not. We don't work for CNN, okay? This is YouTube, right? This is a platform. You know what I mean? Like, I could see if you work for a company and you're, in a sense, we still have to abide and be compliant to YouTube's laws, right? Requirements, whatever case may be. We got to play in their lane. You know what I mean? But they don't have the same, I guess, standard as a ABC or a CNN, this, that, and third. So, yeah, I am gonna make a mistake.
And those are even questionable at this point.
Heck yeah. But just on the surface, you would think, a journalist, with one of those, cable networks, whatever case, would do his or her due diligence in terms of research.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know what I mean? Don't think I'm doing extensive research on it. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
But to that point, though, because we want to keep some authenticity and some realness about this podcast, we do seek truth.
All the time.
And I think ultimately that's what news outlets are supposed to be doing.
Right, but it's like
any broadcast should be seeking truth.
But that's not going to happen because your viewers, you know what I mean, that might not be their same mindset.
Oh, well, then that's chicken and the egg.
But it goes back to the entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's entitlement because everybody is in their own circle, reinforcing their thinking. With same friends, same like-minded this person, same. Like, come on, fam.
Oh, the echo chamber is
yes.
It's how I look at it. The echo chamber in real life is synonymous to the algorithm that you'll see on an Instagram or and it's that perpetual. Hey, if you feed it, it's gonna give it to you times 10.
Yes.
Feed it more, it's gonna give it to you times 100. And it's the same message, same video, same. You know what I mean?
Right. And this is why, at least in my view, like, that entitlement complex, I call it, because I'm just not thinking. I mean, like, I've been saying this for a few years now.
Yeah.
Folks are just, it's like, it's shocking to me. You know what I mean? From the corporate America, it's like everywhere is that entitlement, complex, to the point, like, you really want me to explain every last one of my positions? I don't care if I'm in the public.
Is it getting worse?
Of course it is.
We have this whole, we have phrases, we have names for this stuff, Karens.
Yes, right.
Like, is it getting worse? This entitlement aspect, folks having meltdowns.
Fam,
Is it getting worse?
you would think, like, this is, like, real life stuff.
Right.
Like, to the point, like, you can't make this stuff up, but it's, yes.
It feels
like,
it feels like the entitlement is getting worse.
I guarantee you, if you show, I don't know, somebody who, I'm pretty sure somebody watches our podcast, 1 to 21, they could find something offensive in every last episode, twisted, you know what I mean, put words in our mouths and all that and run with it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
But, that's,
it's just like, you hear what you hear and you see what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like, you can't expect me to react to that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to explain myself every step of the way. Like, this is my position, that's my position.
You know, I wish people, who I commend, who do that and they stand by it? Comedians. They'll say something for the most part, and they get angry at each other when they actually backtrack and maybe apologize for a joke that, quote unquote, may have went too far. But it seems as if in this society, if you say something with a comedic undertone, you have a lot more latitude to be able to get away with it, say it.
Meanwhile, tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? Like you just said, like it's a joke, this, that, third, but sometimes it does go too far from a societal view, right? And then, you get, and I hate that word, and you get canceled.
Oh, goodness. That's a whole other, but.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like.
Okay, but society as a whole, it's almost as if we've given somewhat even a little bit more leeway in the comedic realm. Why is it so looked upon anywhere else? I can't do it on LinkedIn. I can't.
I just think, it's comedy. People don't think it's people think, you're laughing, whatever case may be. It's not as deep. Keeping it light. You know what I mean?
Easier pill to swallow when it's laughter.
That's it.
It's an easier, truthful pill to swallow.
It's the same. It's the same pill.
It's the same pill.
Same pill. Just put lipstick.
Just taste a little bit. Yeah.
Lipstick on a pig. That's all.
Wow. Okay.
Whatever case.
Politically correctness. When is it going to go too far? When you think? Do you think it's going to reach a limit? It's got to reach a point. It's got to reach a breaking point.
Said doing that. I think it's been a few years where it's just crazy now.
It's been going too far already.
It's crazy. Yeah.
We're already past the point.
That wasn't probably still is my biggest reservation with this podcast. You know
What's that? What is that exactly?
With just me being authentic and just like the bait is gonna come there. It's gonna get there. Like they're gonna send the bait. You know what I mean?
I think it's a good exercise.
No, I'm cool with that. I mean, like that, but that was just like my reservation is not because I'm in the arena. I should know what to expect, right? My reservation is my reaction. That's my reservation. You know what I mean? Like that's my only thing, man. Because I just like I'm not gonna dance. You know what I mean? It's like,
from what I'm hearing, I'm trying to read between your crazy lines.
I don't got no crazy lines.
Do you think politically correctness can be weaponized?
It's already weaponized.
Almost like an assault. Like, you know what? Let's throw the trap out there. We know he's going to trip.
Of course.
And we're going to lean in on the politically correctness that society has.
It's entrapment to cancel you.
Entrapment.
Yeah, like, what up? I mean, like.
Entrapment.
Yeah, it's entrapment to cancel you. That's
politically correctness. Somebody need to put a task force together to actually see how many traps have many celebrities, folks out here.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Just to not, and it's not. It may just be like a monetary stuff, or folks are probably just using it, because it's a competitive tool. You know what I mean? Like knock these dudes off or knock this person off, whatever case may be. Take the political. You know what I mean? Politically correct route, get them canceled. Now I actually own the space, or I'm like, that's one less competitor. You know what I'm saying?
I imagine we see this all day in politics.
Yeah, of course, man.
That's probably the number one rule. They probably look at this like, you guys are idiots. Like that's what we do in politics.
Course,
you crazy?
it's like,
set traps.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, man. Like, everybody got to watch what they saying now. You can't have like a.
I think
Like,
Trump
it's
kind of
crazy.
showed everybody, like, man,
I mean, fam, you got to be able to speak your mind. I may not be able to. I may not be. I'm not gonna always agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta be able to speak your mind.
you got to be able to speak your mind.
Yeah.
If anything, that's what First Amendment. I mean,
Yeah, listen.
that is something I think we all can kind of agree on. Like,
Yeah, but I want to take it a step further, right? I mean, you have to still understand, like, the words coming out your mouth might get you punched in your face too. That's something. You know what I mean? Just understand whatever.
but some folks out here don't realize that
Yeah, well, until they get punched in the face,
until
right?
it happens.
But folks are still, because I mean, I don't want to just say, because I'm pro both sides. I mean, like, you gotta watch what you say as well too. You know what I mean? But you should be allowed to say what you want to say. Understand there may be some consequences, but you should still be allowed to say what you gotta say, man. Like, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But it's just like folks can't talk anymore.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like free will. It's not like, listen, you can say it. You should be allowed to say it.
Right.
But you shouldn't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look around, read the room.
I hear that.
You shouldn't say it.
I hear that. I mean, if you know it's going to be offensive and disrespectful to somebody, cool, then you shouldn't say, like, come on. But again, if it's just my position, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't like one of your, like, I don't like mac and cheese. Your American mac and cheese dish. You know what I mean? I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's no flavor, water based, whatever. We ain't going to go back to it. But I'm not offending, you know what I mean, like, your entire culture. I just don't like it. That's
borderline. That's borderline.
See, like, you being entitled, thinking, like, how's that borderline? But I'm not gonna give you an explanation because you already know it's water based. But I'm just saying, like,
it's not water based. I don't know where you're even coming up with this.
They put water in your mac and cheese, and
you're ridiculous.
I'm not ridiculous.
That's how y'all do it. Let me tell you how y'all do it. Y'all go to the store.
Who's y'all?
West Indians. Y'all go to the store.
West Indians.
Y'all go to aisle 6. It's a instant mac and pie.
Ooh, you gotta
instant mac and pie.
Take that back.
You take that off the shelf.
Okay.
You mix it in the little water. You talking about the little water? Okay. And that's what y'all come up with. That's not what we do on this side. That's not what we do on this side.
I'm going to need you to. What episode is this? 21.
21.
All right. I'm going to reference this episode.
Episode 21. Savage.
I hear that.
We're talking politically correctness. Politically correctness. You're not feeling it. You don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's gone too far in your eyes.
Right, and I want to make sure that I hit home that the point, like, you need to be respectful. You know what I mean? If you're having a debate, don't be disagreeable. You know what I mean? Like, there's guardrails. That's, you know what I mean? I'm not saying say anything you want to, you know what I mean, go out and, nah. But I mean, within those guardrails, I need to understand it's a safe space to say what I want to say.
I believe much of the politically correctness is creating more unsafe spaces than there are safe spaces.
I agree.
I think it's carving out maybe enclaves of what seemingly may be a safe space in that echo chamber. Mm-hmm. But in all reality, yeah, but everybody ain't getting along here. It's still some animosity going on here, and you're not doing anything. It's like kind of that classroom. I mean, that lunch room mentality where the cool folks sit over here, y'all folks sit over here, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, it's still that segregation.
Yep.
And this, you know what I mean? Like, just be. Just.
I think
the pronouns, man. Come on, let's just be.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that's the worst thing that could happen in a society where you're just like you're so nervous. Right?
Yes, I see it all day.
So nervous to say something, to do something. Like, come on, like you just said, live your life, make a mistake, and keep it pushing.
That's it,
man.
That's it. And if you got to correct someone, if you got to,
the intent behind it is very important, right?
That's a fact.
If I say something, that's just, out of bounds, that's offensive. Cool.
Your intent doesn't matter. You said it.
Yeah.
You need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're automatically a racist.
Automatically.
Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But everybody think they're entitled. Everybody.
All right, man. Well, what's the solution? You got a solution for us? Do you want to give us a final word?
I mean, because if I give you my solution, my position might be attacked. So I'm gonna let you rock out with the final word.
Something tells me your solution is not politically correct.
It is not.
On the Kiss and Tea podcast, episode 21. How are y'all feeling about this whole politically correct thing? Are you with it?
Yeah.
Are we overstepping our boundaries? Are we being politically incorrect by even talking about this right now? We need to be going along to get along. We need to be putting he, his, either they, them, whatever you want to put behind your name. It needs to be put there. Maybe we should be doing this. Maybe we're thinking too much into this. Maybe we should just submit and say, you know what, this is the greater good, for the greater good of society and humanity. We need to become more politically correct.
Well, you need to not use words like submit.
That rubbed you the wrong way?
Not me. I'm cool with that.
There's some folk out there that but hey, it's a word. It is what it is. It means what it means. Look it up in the dictionary. Sometimes you need to fall back.
See, you explaining yourself.
All right,
see what you're doing.
Right.
See what you're
Sometimes you need to
see
fall.
what you're doing.
I know I'm gonna do. I'm clarifying. Sometimes you got to clarify now.
AKA,
Sometimes you can deliver a message in a way in which, So listen, but I would love to hear the messages that our viewers and all the folks who subscribe want to give us in the comment below. How are you feeling about political correctness? Let us know, please, in the comments. If you're feeling some value in what was mentioned today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then there's a little bell. Make sure you hit that bell button so you get a notification every single time.
That's a nice noise, right?
We drop. Ding.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Let me
hear it again.
Ding.
On the 21.
We play it in the beginning of each episode.
No doubt.
Episode 21, Savage in the books. Kiss and Tea Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.